No knock at the door again this week. But where did I go? Well, here's my crosses I done last week. So these bottom left ones here, they were about 1 or 2 pixels away from our average. The top ones on the right, they were my own crosses that I did in the first place. So I'd already done them, and then I thought, you know what? I'll put a couple by the average. So I done the bottom two there. There is two there, which were right next to our average. And then I thought, let's go in the middle. Let's compromise here. So I worked out the average between our average and the ones I had done, and I put two more in the middle of there. So I can't quite tell. I know those are in zone 2 there. The middle ones, I think, are borderline. They might be in zone 2. Top ones, obviously, in zone 3. I didn't think it'd go that low. I got to be honest. I didn't think they'd go any higher than that, but I certainly didn't think they'd go that much lower than that. But we'll have a look at the judging in a second. That area makes sense because if you remember the last YouTube video we made, it was a couple of people had said the guy in red is looking straight up. Well, like I said, I wasn't buying that. That didn't make sense because when you looked at his eyes, he was clearly looking forward. So if you draw the line from his eyes now straight through the winning cross, it does come into the same area as where I put mine. So I was pretty sure he was looking in that sort of direction. So he wasn't the problem. It was this guy on the left here. Where was he looking? And I was quite happy with where I went, that line up there, because I thought, yeah, that's about right where he's looking. I don't really think he's looking that low, but he could be, because you can't really see his eyes properly, can you? Still, well done to the winner. I haven't watched that video yet. I just had a quick look at the judging video to see what was going on there. So, while we're at it, what happened with the judging? Let's have a look. So, interesting spread. There's only 7 judges this week. I don't know why. It used to be 10, then it was 8, now it's 7. Got a little cluster here, and there's one a bit higher up there. Then we've got one all the way over here to the left, which is what I did say in the last video as well, that they're feasible in that it's quite possible the judges will do the same thing, and it did happen. One of the judges did go straight up. But there's also 2 right over here on the right. Now, I don't know what I would do in this situation because you couldn't really take them all out, can you? There's got to be a limit as to how many you can take out. Now, I've already skipped forward on the video, and I know that they only take out this one on the right here, the furthest right. I'm not convinced with that. I think if you're going to take that one out, then you should have taken the one near it out and the one opposite out. It wouldn't have made that much difference to the video. You can watch the video yourself, the judging video. Doesn't change it that much. I just think if you're going to take one out, you've got to take the 3 of them out. So they did just take that one out, and they just left it down to 6 crosses. And perhaps that's half the problem, because they only had 7 judges. If they'd taken a 3 out, it'd have been down to 4 judges. But there's this little cluster down here. Look, there's 3 down here, which are lower than I would have expected them to go. So that caught me out this week. I don't know about you. Anyway, let's have a look at this week's picture then, because that's a real odd one. And why I say it's an odd one is because it all looks all out of perspective. Now, we've established a long time ago that these are composite pictures. This scene never actually happened, and they've just taken a scene and dropped a couple of random players in there with Photoshop. But you look at the fella in the front in the stripes. I think it's red on black stripes. His shoulders are back, his arms are back, his chest is out, his head is forward. So it looks like he's just headed the ball. But the fella behind him is looking down at the ball, and he's a couple of feet above him. And you think, okay, perhaps this is a perspective that they're working on. But then when you look down at his leg, his shin looks as though he's touching the player in front of him, and his leg is bent. Now, his knee is already waist height to this player in the front, so if the player in the back, that looks like a Terminator, if he stands up normally, his waist is going to be about the height of the fella in the front shoulders, or his head. That would make the guy in the blue about 9 foot tall. So it's an odd perspective on this photo, because, like I said, the guy in the front's headed the ball, so he's going to be a couple of feet up in front of him, and yet the other fella's still looking down at it. So it doesn't really change anything, because we still got to work out what do we think the judges are going to do? So in my case, for my first cross, now we know the first cross is never the final cross, I drew a line from this guy's eyes. It wasn't a brilliant view, but and I went up sort of in that direction, sort of in line with his face. And then I took another line from Arnie down to there, and I come around about that position there. That's my first cross. And it looks okay with the angle of the head and the eye line and stuff. For now, might be a little bit lower. Have to wait and see how I feel the rest of the week. But it wasn't until later, let me take those lines back out. It wasn't until after I'd done it that I realised that the cross lined up nicely with a guy in the background sitting down in the stands in a chair. It looks as though he's looking right at it. And I thought, yeah, I quite like that. I quite like the position and the way it is now. It fits in with where all three of them are looking. Like I said, I'm not 100% with this guy in the front, red and black. I think he might be looking a little bit lower. But I'll see what you guys say, and I'll have a look at it another couple of times now throughout the week. So that's what I've gone for now. We'll do the same thing again, because I think last week's average ended up in zone 2 this week. I think last week's was zone 2 as well, but then we had a few before that were all zone 1. But the last couple of weeks we've had some dodgy pictures, mind on me, so I think we're forgiven for that. So I'll leave a comment in the comment section asking you to reply to that particular comment with your coordinate. Have a look at the picture. Give me an idea of where you think the ball should be by submitting a coordinate. And on Saturday, we'll have a look at the coordinates and work out where the average is, because we like doing it. So this week's offer is 50% off the Campervans. Now, you all know that I want a Campervan. But there's only one year that gets my attention. See this one on the left here, this Auto Trail one. That's too big. You couldn't jump in that on a weekend and just, chuck a couple of pasties and pizzas in the fridge, just wander off for the weekend. It's too big. You couldn't park it anywhere. You'd have to drive to your destination, park it up for the weekend, and just leave it there. This Volkswagen Grand California thing, they're okay. I like the Volkswagens. However, that pod thing that it's got on the top, that's what makes it a full berth. But I watched a video of it the other day. Some couple were trying it out for a week, and there's hardly any room in that top bunk at all. It slides out. It's not full length, so it's only suitable for sort of midgets or children. And it's very claustrophobic because there's not a lot of space between that bed and the roof of the van. The guy got in there and could barely turn around and get back out. And there's been quality issues with these Grand Californias. Things break in and Volkswagen don't know how to fix them. Then you've got the Knaus box drive. It's all right, I suppose. I'm just not that keen on it. It doesn't get my attention. This is the one I like, the MLT. This thing's fantastic. 4-wheel drive, off-road vehicle. It's got 4 batteries on it, massive fridge, uprated everything. £126,000 worth of motorhome, that is. And I think I'd have it, and I'd keep it for a couple of years. What concerns me is, on a vehicle as high-tech as it is, once the warranty won't run out, I'd be terrified that if anything broke, it was going to cost an arm and an absolute leg. So I think I'd have to run it until the warranty run out, 2 or 3 years, whatever, then sell it and get something simpler. But yeah, I like that. And before I go, don't forget, it's the start of a new month, which means it's a new electric car giveaway on the Auto Trader site. And this month it's Aura Funky Cat with over 32k. So if you're interested in winning that for nothing, then put your first name in and your email address and just click submit, and you'll be in the free draw for an Aura Funky Cat. Anyway, let me know how you get on, guys. Drop a comment, and I want to know if you've got Zone 1, closest car, Zone 2, or whether it was a complete disaster. And over the next couple of days, if you could leave a coordinate so we can have a look Saturday what the average is. Nice one. Thanks, everyone.